We lived in Jackson, Mississippi. My father sold cars, and he unfortunately was an alcoholic. He was very smart and had a great sense of humor, and people loved being around him. But he was unfortunately consumed and ultimately died because of his alcoholism. So my mother had to go to work to support us. We had almost nothing, but what she did have was a great sense of determination. She wasn't sure where our next meals came from, but that didn't affect our spirit. And she made us believe that we could be anything that we wanted to be. And so I got a paper out, and when my brother was old enough, he got a paper out, and we pooled our resources. When I was a sophomore in high school, my mother had encouraged me to try to do something that was useful. I had been taking choral music as an elective, and I can't sing a lick. Couldn't then, can't now. When they picked a men's octet, and there were 9 of us, and I wasn't chosen, I knew that really was not my deal. And so my mother suggested journalism. I never thought about journalism. The first day of journalism class, I turned to my friend and said, I can't believe they would actually pay you to do this. And from that moment forward, I knew I wanted to be a journalist. When I graduated from high school, I would go to the University of Mississippi. I worked for the athletic department. I was a correspondent for about 6 newspapers. I was a dorm manager. Worked on the Daily Mississippian. And so all those jobs together gave me enough money to be able to go through Ole Miss. I really wanted to go to Washington. So at age 22, I'm in the same room with the President of the United States. I'm a member of the White House Correspondents Association. I can't believe this poor Southerner who really knows very little is right there. So that's what journalism did for me. It gave me legitimacy. Al Newhart was the chairman of Gannett, and Al called me and said, hey, will you go be editor? It was terrific being the editor of my hometown newspaper, the same newspaper that I would get up at 4:30 in the morning to carry papers for when I was 12 years old. I was in heaven.
The motivating factor that I can see for him in any job that he has had is to do the best job he can at whatever is that task.
I'd say that the motivation now is not so much to succeed, but to help people. And success is such a fleeting thing, and it can be defined in so many different ways. And I've never tried to define success by money, by dollars, but rather by happiness.